Hello, I'm going to share with you a bodyweight Tabata workout. So what a Tabata is it's a 4-minute circuit, and over the course of 4 minutes you complete 8 rounds of exercise. Each round is 20 seconds long, followed by 10 seconds of rest. And what I have structured for this video is I'm going to give you 4 exercises per Tabata, so we'll cycle through each one twice for a total of 8 rounds. And the exercises that I've chosen are a combination of strength and cardio challenges as well as a little bit of balance work. And I tried to choose exercises that get you moving through all 3 planes of motion. So forward, back, side to side, and a little bit of rotation. So my hope is that it is something balanced for you to do if you don't have any equipment at home, but you do have some open space. I'm going to explain everything in real time and provide modifications along the way just for the sake of keeping this video as short as possible. And then I'm going to include in the description other ways of structuring the exercises so that you can spread things out a little bit more. So anyway, that's just a quick rundown. We'll get started. I'm going to be using a timer. There are lots of free apps out there that have Tabata timers on them. The one that I'm going to use is called Impetus, and it's great because you can manually program it depending on what kind of time structure you want to use. So that's a little bit of that info. Let's get started. Alrighty, so first exercise is going to be crisscross squat jacks. So you're going to be hopping your feet wide into a squat and then crossing right over left, left over right at the top. Now, if you find that you don't want to be doing any jumping, you can easily modify that by just doing a little cross-body tap. That way you still get the benefit of that little inner thigh work, but no jumping is absolutely necessary. You got 4, 3, 2, and relax. You get your 10 seconds rest. From here, we're going to move on to a push-up to side plank curl in. Lots of ways to modify this one too. So, dropping down into your push-up, rotating out into your plank, curling in, back out, back to center, same thing other side. Push-up, side plank, curling in, back out, and repeating. So if you want to take a knee for your push-up, you're more than welcome to. If the curl in doesn't feel good, you can always just hold the side plank. Moving on from there, we're going to do a lunge hop knee, and I'll demonstrate it profile so you can see what I'm doing. So taking a nice long step back into a lunge, driving that knee up towards your chest. That's one option if you don't want to jump. Option 2, you can add a hop at the top. And again, whatever is comfortable for your body, keep that front knee stacked above your ankle. Back knee just drops towards the floor at a right angle. Make sure that you're not making contact with the floor. And then following that, staying on that same leg, we're going to take it into a balance challenge. So a single leg toe reach. Back stays flat. You're going to hinge forward at the waist, trying to get that torso parallel to the floor, and then coming back up. The knee of your anchor leg wants to be slightly bent, and you're trying to keep a straight line from your ears to your heel. And if you find that you want to make that more challenging, you can always hold that position static. So those were our 4 exercises. We're going to cycle through them one more time. So heading back to those crisscross squat jacks. 3, 2, 1. And again, hopping those feet wide into a squat, crossing at the top. Make sure you're alternating which foot's in front, so right over left and then left over right. And again, you can always taper out the jumping if you find that you need a little breather. And you can always just keep your feet on the floor and just do a squat. Great, great, great. Moving back on to our push-up to side plank curl-in. And again, the curl-in is optional. If you have a mat, you can always cushion your joints and take a knee for the push-up. So dropping down, rotating out, and then make sure as you're curling in, you're really rotating your entire trunk so that your chest is parallel to the floor. You're not just moving your arm. Back to center. And then we'll let that timer run down. Groovy. So coming back up to standing now, we're going to go back to our lunge hop knee, but on the opposite side. So before I had my left leg as the anchor leg, now I'll keep my right foot as that. So stepping back, and again, you've got your option to bring your knee up towards your chest, and then of course, peppering in that hop if you feel comfortable. It is a balance challenge one way or the other, so work within your means and work as slowly as you need to in order to keep good form and balance. Always better to slow down if it maintains your posture rather than speeding through things in a sloppy manner. So we've got our final challenge coming up now, our hip hinge. This time, right foot's on the floor. So we're hinging forward, keeping that back nice and flat, and then coming back up to standing. This is definitely my more challenging side personally. And then like I said before, if you want to make this more challenging, you can just hold this position static for the full 20 seconds, whatever's comfortable for you. All right, that's our first Tabata down. So now we're gonna move on to our second set of challenges. Again, 4 exercises, 2 rounds of each. So restarting the timer. The opening challenge is gonna be a single travel star hop. So feet start together. You're gonna take one big long step to the right, star hop at the top, one big step to the left, star hop at the top. Now star hops are really exhausting, so if you find that they're not comfortable, you can always modify this. So maybe you just do a vertical hop, maybe you modify with a jumping jack, whatever feels good in your body. And then from there, we're gonna take it into another plank challenge, a side plank hip dip. I'm gonna put a towel down just to cushion my elbow. I like to do these on my forearm. I find them more challenging that way. If being on your forearm doesn't feel good to you, you can always come up to your palm in a high plank. If the hip dip motion is uncomfortable, you can always just hold this static. Your feet can be staggered, they can be stacked, you can take a knee, whatever's comfortable for you. Great. All right, then moving forward, we're gonna take it into some instep hits. Similar to the motion featured in that warm-up that I posted the other day, but just a sped-up version. So, bringing the instep of your foot toward the palm of your hands, keeping your chest up nice and tall. It's kind of like a hacky sack motion. If this doesn't feel comfortable to you, you can modify with a high knee. If you find that your hip flexors are really tight, maybe a butt kick feels better, just to give those a little more length. Whatever feels good in your body. And then lastly, we're gonna take it into a lateral lunge to curtsy lunge. So 1 foot planted, 1 leg mobile. So stepping nice and wide into a lateral lunge, knee stacked above the ankle, and then taking that directly back into a curtsy. So a curtsy lunge is much like a reverse lunge, but you're stepping back along a slight diagonal. Regardless, you wanna make sure that that front knee stays stacked above that front ankle. And if you're able to do it all in one big step, awesome. If you need to put your foot down in between, also awesome. All right, so that was our 4 challenges. We're gonna go back to the top, back to our travel squat with a star hop. So feet planted together, big wide step, hopping up, coming back down, big wide step, hopping up and down. And again, maybe it's just vertical hop. Maybe if you don't wanna jump at all, you just stand up. That's fine too. So whatever feels good in your body, at whatever pace is gonna be sustainable for you. All right, so moving back to our side plank, but this time hitting the opposite side. So now I'm gonna be on my left forearm. Great, so for this challenge, you just wanna make sure that whatever modification you use for one side, you mirror that in the other side. So if you're on your forearm for round 1 of these, you should be on your forearm for round 2, just so that we're keeping our single-sided exercises balanced. Awesome. All right, we're moving on to our final round, which just means we're going back into those instep hits one more time. All right, here we go. And again, keeping that chest tall. This can be slowed down too. If you find that you don't want to move at a run, you can always slow the movement. And again, you've got your high knee options, shuffle options, leg kick options, whatever you want to do to get that heart rate up and to ultimately shake out those legs. Awesome. So those are your 2 Tabata challenges. And again, I'm going to give you added info in the description about how you can adjust how you arrange those. Oh, do we have one more? Oh, I forgot lateral lunge to curtsy. Ha 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 ha. So we're going back to our final challenge, which is going to be on the opposite side now. Just kidding. I think a part of me just wanted the exercise to come to the recovery period. So again, stepping wide into that lunge and then back into your curtsy. All right, now we're really done. Leg out. So I also want to give you just 2 core challenges that I'll demonstrate real quick in a half Tabata, so just 2 rounds of each, and we'll alternate between the 2. So we're going to start with a dead bug. This is one of my favorite challenges. So tucking your chin, bringing right knee in toward your chest, right hand above your head. You're just going to do some alternating arm leg extensions,
keeping that chin tucked and your eyes on your belly button. If you find that having your head lifted is too stressful for your neck, you can always put your hands behind your head, or you can keep your head on the floor. But ultimately, you want to make sure that your shoulder blades are lifted up off the ground. And then from here, we're going to take it into fire hydrants. So on all fours, you're going to lift your leg laterally, bringing that thigh parallel to the floor. Exhaling as you lift, trying to keep your torso in place and your hips square as you do. Now, this can be quite challenging for folks, and not everybody has, you know, that wide of a range of motion, so I'll give you an alternative to this the second time that we do it. So, coming back to our dead bugs. Mind if I? So, tucking that chin, lifting those shoulder blades, nice and slow, opposite arm leg extensions. And for these, the slower the better. There's no need to rush through core challenges. In fact, they're more challenging the slower you move. So really take your time for this. Great, we're gonna go back onto the fire hydrants and I'm gonna demonstrate, I guess back to facing towards camera. So like I said, option one, if you find that this movement doesn't feel good in your body, you can always come to your side and do a side lying lateral raise. If that feels better to you, just make sure that your toes are pointed toward the floor and the ankle stays flexed. And if that's even too much, you can always do some clam openers. So keeping those knees slightly bent and just opening and closing your legs like so. So whatever feels good to you. So that's the workout. And that was obviously a consolidated version. I would recommend repeating both of those Tabatas anywhere from 1 to 3 times more, depending on how much time you have available and what your energy levels are like. And yeah, every exercise has many opportunities for modifications, so it's really just about picking whatever version feels good in your body on this particular day. So something that feels good one day may not feel great the next. So it's just check in with your experience and do what feels right to you. All right, have a good one.